Hey guys, this is Tiger Airsoft back with you again. It's our squad, Tiger Airsoft. There's more of us, but this is just my friend Bravo 2 and me, Dragon 1, coming to you from Tampa, Florida. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the weapons you're going to need to play the game of Airsoft. Now, the first thing you're going to need is what I like to call the primary weapon. The primary weapon is your rifle, your main gun, the thing that you're going to be using the most throughout the game. Now, a lot of people think that the AK and things like that are the baddest guns. And now, I do love my AK, and I'm going to have to show you my AK. And this is called a Sima AK. It loads back with the bolt. It shoots about 400 FPS. Now, if you're going to want to use an AK, here's some of the cons of an AK. It is much heavier than using any other variant of a gun, such as an M4 or anything else. But it's very effective. It will not break down on you. This Sima has not failed me at all. It's just so reliable to use, and it's gonna last you forever. I have friends who've had this gun for 5 years, and it has not failed them once. And that's all well and good, but the AK is heavy, and the mags are heavy, and everything about it is kind of bulky. And that's what I don't like about the AK, and that's why generally when I'm fighting in a war, I'm not using this gun. Some of my friends are using this gun. I'm carrying this as a backup or something of that nature. Now, what I prefer to use is an M4 variant. Now, my friend Bravo 2 is carrying an M4. I'm carrying two M4s. The first one I'm carrying is called a Jing Gong. It's a rather cheap China-made gun. But it's very, very reliable if you're going to be starting off Airsoft right now. If you're going to be starting off Airsoft and you don't have a big budget, you can buy one of these off of Airsoft Mega Stores in a package. You can buy it for about $230. It'll come with a bipod, it'll come with a box mag, it'll come with everything you need to start. And with the box mag, you don't even need to really go off and buy any more mags. And so this is a very reliable gun. I've had this for about 3 years, and it has not broken on me once. The only problem I've had is the stock's a little bit wobbly, and the stock has actually lost the part to adjust the length. But beyond that, it's really a very reliable gun. Could you take that, Rob, too? Now, here is my favorite gun, I would say. This is a King Arms M4 with all the registered Colt body parts. It's got registered Colt all along the side. All the markings are real. And then it's got something called Magpul parts on it. Now, Magpul creates weapons for the military. They helped create the ACR, and they make special parts for guns. A lot of the times, if you see anything that's very ergonomic, very well designed, it will be branded with Magpul. Now, Magpul has made a lot of new polymers in the past couple of years. It's made a lot of new flip-up sights that go like this. And it's a very reliable gun. It's very lightweight. I like to carry it on the field. I played with this gun for 3 hours straight and not even, dropped a bead of sweat. And it's such a good gun. It's expensive, but if you have the money for it, you should really go out and buy this gun because there's just nothing as good as this for what you're looking for. It's high FPS, high ROF, and it won't fail you. Now, other people have probably heard of this gun if you've ever played the game Navy SEALs on PSP or PS3. It's called by some the Mark 16 and by others the SCAR. Now the SCAR was invented for Special Operations Command for Navy SEALs and Green Berets to use as a special weapon. This thing can be optimized. I can pop the barrel off my SCAR. See, as so. I can pop the barrel off. And I can put on a new extension for this, make it into a sniper rifle. And it's just a very reliable, very good weapon to carry around on the field. Now, this was one of my first guns, actually. And it was, I got it for very cheap. And, now you won't find one that's as cheap as I got it anymore. Now you only find one made by WE, which is a gas blowback, or, GNP. They're very expensive guns, but this is a very good gun. It's lightweight, it's thin, but it's out of any beginner's price range, so I wouldn't suggest this for a beginner. Could you take this, Rob, too? Okay, and retest that. Now I'm going to move on to your secondary. Now, I have found a secondary that I like, and I have not changed the secondary since. This is my U.S. Special Combat WE gun, like I referred to the SCAR before. Nowadays only made by WE and GMP. Now, this is a WE gun. WE makes very good gas pistols. It makes gas blowback, which means the gun actually has the real action of a weapon, where it blows back every time it fires. Now, this gun is a hot gun. I cannot fire this from anywhere less than 50 feet away, because this is 500 feet per second. This is a strong gun. It is like a rifle, and it will hit someone from far away and make them scream. And this gun is very efficient on CO2. I can go through 7 or 8 mags on one CO2 canister without having to change it. And that is insane if you don't know what, a CO2 gun does. It just runs through CO2. I've had CO2 guns before, and this is just my favorite. Everything else is broken on me. This thing I've had for 2-3 years now, and it has yet to fail me. And now I'm going to move on to an old classic favorite of mine that my friend Bravo 2 is carrying, and I think he'll want to explain this more himself.
So this is the M4. It has the M16 stock on it right now, and as you can see, I also have this cover on it. I have the ghillie suit on now, and this really helps if you are going to be a sniper. You're usually going to want to carry one of these on your guns, because I've been out playing Airsoft Wars, and I've seen guys with these big long rifles sitting in the bushes, and I can't see the guy, but I can see this long sniper rifle just hanging out, and you know exactly where it is. Usually if you're going to buy the ghillie suit and you're going to buy a sniper, these will come with it. Also for snipers, a lot of guys will go on to websites like eVike or Airsoft Megastore, and they'll go right to the high-powered sniper rifles, and they'll go and buy like a $1,000 Barrett 50 cal. Those are great guns. The problem is they're extremely heavy to carry around, and they're very large, and you're really not going to want to have to carry one of those around in an airsoft war. They're just way too heavy and way too big. Also, if you're going to buy a sniper rifle, a lot of guns you can buy will not come with a scope or a bipod, so you're going to want to make sure you get one of those. And if you are going to be a sniper, make sure you go on a website or go to somebody and learn how to calibrate the scope, because a lot of guys will just go out there and start shooting, and they'll not even know where they're shooting because their scope's not calibrated, or they don't know how to aim down their sights. And a bipod you're definitely going to want to get, because you can sit there and shoot all you want, and if you're not steady, you're not going to hit any of your targets, and the bipod's really going to help you steady the gun and make sure you get a sure shot.
Okay, now I'm going to explain to you the different kinds of mags. First, this is a high cap for an AK-47, the assignment that I showed you. Now, this thing carries 600 rounds. This thing is, it's hard to run out of this many rounds very quickly. But, you're going to only have to carry maybe 2 or 3 of these around on the field. They carry 600 rounds, but they're a little bit heavier than an M4 mag would be. They're a little bit bulkier. You see how this cover on me? This thing will only fit one, while it'll fit 2 M4 mags and only fit one of these. So that's a little bit of a con there. Now I'm going to move on to 3 different types of M4 mags that I have for you. Now this is a King Arms mid-cap mag. It'll carry about 150 rounds. It's, very solid. It won't, it's made of plastic polymer. It's very lightweight, but, it doesn't carry that much ammunition. And if you're going to be firing a full auto, which, trust me, most of you won't have the self-control to fire on burst, which is what you're supposed to do, which I'll go into later talking about it. But if you're very controlled and self-controlled about your ammo and you don't have a lead trigger finger, then this is a very good mag for you. It's cheap to buy. It's effective. It'll last you a long time, and you'll just have a lot of fun with it. The next mag I'm moving on to is a regular high cap mag for an M4. Now, this is the most common mag you'll find. It'll fit into anything. It'll fit into the Mark 16, the SCAR that I showed you before, the M4. It'll even fit into the M249 that I'm getting, and it's just a very effective mag. It's it's made of metal. It's lighter than the AK mag, but this only carries about 400 rounds. But I can carry 4 of these, instead of 2 AK mags, so it kind of outweighs the AK in a lot of ways. And then the final one, if you have the budget, and I love this mag. This is my favorite mag. It combines all the pros and the cons of the AK and the M4. It carries more rounds than the M4, and it's really light. It's really lightweight like the M4, but it has the capacity of an AK. It's very light. It's weighted the Magpul polymer that I told you about before, and it's just so great. It's just so great to have one of these out on the field, but they're so expensive. It's $20 a mag, but if you have the budget for them, please, I beg that you buy a few of these because they're just the best investment you can make. Now I'm gonna go on to tell you about a few things. Now, if you're gonna be a sniper like my friend Bravo 2, you're gonna need this. It is a sling. This is a 1-point sling. Which means it only hangs off of one point of the gun. So it doesn't give you as much support, but it lets you draw quicker, and that's what I like on my gun. Now, Bravo 2 has his own preferences, and I think he would rather have a 2-point sling, because 2-point slings are better for heavy guns, like the M249 that I'm about to carry. And I'm going to get a 2-point sling for that, and I'm going to show you that in a later video, but this is just a very effective sling for anybody who's going to be carrying around an M4. And I mean, even an AK is pushing it on this sling, because I mean, if you carry an AK for 2 hours on this on your shoulders are going to hurt when you come out of the game. So I would only suggest this for an M4. It's made by ICS. It's really solid. It's just uncomfortable to carry anything too heavy on it. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is batteries. Batteries can affect your entire game. Everyone talks about rate of fire and how the motor affects it and how the spring affects your FPS, but your battery affects every variable in your gun. This is a stick battery for the SCAR gun. It won't work with any of the other ones. It'll only work with the SCAR, which is kind of saddening because I have a lot of these. And it affects your rate of fire. If you have a 9.6 volt instead of an 8.4, it'll have much higher rate of fire. It'll have better FPS. But there is a myth that says that if you have higher voltage batteries, that it will wear down your gearbox. But that hasn't been true for me so far. And another type of battery that there's many types and shapes of batteries. There's a stick battery. There's a small type, which are in my other guns. There's butterflies that are separated. There's nunchucks. But a lot of guys, if you really have the budget for it, like to buy a thing called a lipoly. A lipoly is a lithium battery, and they last for a long time, and they give you higher rates of fire and higher FPS than any other battery can give you. But this myth is a very strong thing in the airsoft community that says that if you use a lipoly battery on any gun that doesn't have a very high quality motor and gearbox, the gun will break down. Now, I have to say that I've seen that happen before. I've seen guys who go out there and they carry a stock M249 and drop a lipoly battery in it, and it breaks down their gun because they haven't put in a new motor and a new gearbox. So I'd only suggest a lipoly battery for guys who are really have a gun who's already decked out and that's already, built up to withstand the stress of, carrying a lipoly battery. That's all we have for you about the guns today. And now my friend Bravo 2 is going to come in.
Alright, one more thing about the sniper rifle. If you are going to order a sniper rifle, make sure you do order extra magazines. Because I have a sniper rifle myself, and the magazine only holds 20 rounds. And even though it is a bolt action sniper rifle, I will still run out of ammo in minutes. So if you are going to play a long game, make sure to hold extra mags. And if you are going to use a ghillie suit, don't worry about it. A lot of ghillie suits will have small pockets on the sides. And if you're wearing a ghillie suit, most likely you're not going to be running around. So don't worry, just throw 2 extra mags in your pockets, and if you're going to be in a bush, you're fine. They're just going to stay in your pockets, and you'll be able to take them out and reload as much as you want.
Okay, so this is Tiger Airsoft Squad signing off. Goodbye from Dragon 1 and Bravo 2.